Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing a new topic of the chapter straight lines, and the topic is general equation of a line. Now what is a general equation of a line? Any line of the form ax plus by plus c equal to 0 is a general equation of a line where a, b, c can be any real constants and both a and b should not be equal to 0. That means a not equal to 0, b not equal to 0 simultaneously. Either of them is 0 means it's okay, but both, if they are 0, the equation will reduce to a constant. So both of them should not be simultaneously equal to 0. Okay, and this is known as the general equation of a straight line. Now in this topic what we are studying is we will be provided with a general equation and we have to reduce that general equation of the line into certain forms, that means various forms which will be given in the question or asked in the question, and that will be either can be in the slope intercept form or in intercept form or in normal form. Okay, as asked in the question we will just reduce them. So first we will see how to reduce a given general equation of a straight line in slope intercept form. Now we will see how to reduce a given equation that is in the general form ax plus by plus c equal to 0 in slope intercept form. We know that slope intercept form is y equal to mx plus c. So in that form we have to reduce this equation. So the given thing will be ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Now we are just taking first case 1 as if b is not equal to 0. If b is not equal to 0, that means division with b is possible. So what we are doing is we are just taking in the left hand side by and remaining to the other side. So this will become like by is equal to minus ax minus c. Now we can divide throughout by b since b is not equal to 0. So that y is equal to minus a by b into x minus c by b. Now we can just compare this with the form what this can be written as y is equal to mx plus c, where you can say that m is equal to minus a by b and c, that is the constant, c is equal to minus c by, both the c's are different. Okay, this is small c, this is capital C, minus c by b. What is m? M is the slope related to the equation, that is the slope will be minus a by b, and the y-intercept will be minus c by b. So this is how you have to reduce the given equation in slope-intercept form. So the method which we have done here is the same way what you have to do in your problem also, right? So first you have to make it as y equal to something. So the thing which is coming with x will be the slope and the constant will be the y-intercept. Now one more case is there, that is when b is equal to 0. Now suppose b is equal to 0. This is your case 2. Okay. Now if b is equal to 0, this equation will become ax plus c equal to 0, right? So what will be ax equal to minus c, or x is equal to minus c by a? The meaning of this is x equal to something means it is a straight line, but you can say that here you don't have the y coordinate, right, or y term. So it is an equation in which you have only the x-intercept, but you don't have the slope. That means don't have the slope means slope is not defined. Okay, here the slope is not defined and the x-intercept is minus c by a. Okay, so this is the reduced form when b is equal to 0, when b is not equal to 0, both the cases. Okay, not equal to 0 and equal to 0. Here when we say that this is a straight line, this will be a straight line which is vertical straight line. Now vertical straight line, you can say that vertical line has undefined slope. Slope will not be defined for a vertical line. For tan 90 it is not defined, right? So that is the case for when b equal to 0. Next form is intercept form. That means you are reducing the given equation in the intercept form. Now first case here we are taking that if c is not equal to 0. If c is not equal to 0, we can write ax plus by plus c equal to 0 as ax plus by is equal to minus c. And why we have taken this c not equal 0? In order to divide throughout by this. That means we are making this in the intercept form, means we have to make the right hand side as 1, right? X by a plus y by b equal to 1 is the intercept form. So here what we are doing is dividing throughout by minus c. Okay, so you'll get minus a by c x plus minus b by c y is equal to 1. Or you can write x by minus c by a plus y by minus c by b is equal to 1. Now you can just compare with intercept form, which is x by something plus y by something equal to 1, and those somethings will be what? X by will give you the x intercept and y by will give you the y intercept. So this is actually in the form, this is in the form x by a plus y by b equal to 1, where a is equal to minus c by a, b is equal to minus c by b. That is, what is a? X intercept. X intercept is equal to minus c by a, and y intercept is minus c by b. So this is the reduced form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0 in the intercept form. Okay. This was the case when c is not equal to 0. Now if c is equal to 0, what will happen to the equation? It will become ax plus by equal to 0. And this is an equation which is a straight line again, passing through the origin. Passing through the origin 0, 0. That means it doesn't have any intercept. X intercept and y intercepts will be 0. Okay, with 0 intercepts with the axis, with both the axis, that is axis. Okay, so when c is equal to 0, you will have a straight line passing through the origin with 0 intercepts on the axis. The third one is normal form. Now what is normal form? X cos omega plus y sin omega equal to p is the normal form of a straight line. Now what we are doing is we are just taking let x cos omega plus y sin omega equal to p be the normal form of the same equation, that is of the straight line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. That means when I change this as ax plus by is equal to minus c, I can say that both are representing the same line. Both are the equation of the same straight line. Okay. So here we can compare the coefficients. That is, these are constants. Then here x coefficients and y coefficients. Since they are both one and the same, we can just write that a by cos omega, that is the coefficient of x, ratio of the coefficient of x will be same as ratio of the coefficient of y. What is coefficient of y? B by the other thing is sin omega, and this is, here you have minus c by p. Okay, a by cos omega, b by sin omega, minus c by p. All will be same. Now our purpose is to find out what is cos omega and sin omega from these things. Okay, so we can just equate this and this, that is a by cos omega is equal to minus c by p will give you p is equal to, what you will get? Okay, cos omega is equal to, we have to find out what will be cos omega. It will be minus ap by c. And again from these two, that is b by sin omega is equal to minus c by p will give you sin omega is equal to minus bp by c. Okay, so you got cos omega, this one, and sin omega is this. Now again we know that sin square omega, sin square an angle plus cos square that angle is equal to 1. So from there we are starting. Why we are doing these things? We are here to find out what is cos omega, sin omega and p in terms of a, b, c. Because in our equation which will be given in the question will be of this form. So we have to find out or reduce it in the normal form, in this form. That means we need this thing cos omega, sin omega and p. Those things should be in A, B, C form. That means they should contain only A, B, C, because we only have those in the equation. That's why we are just making this as finding out P, A and B. Okay. So sine square omega plus cos square omega is 1, we know. We are just replacing the value of these things. That is sine square omega will give you minus bp by c the whole square plus minus ap by c the whole square is equal to 1. From here, this negative will go and p square is common in both the terms. So I am just taking it out. Remaining will be here b square and a square. So I am writing as a square plus b square, and the denominator is common, which is c square, is equal to 1. So that p square is equal to c square by, it will go there and make the reciprocal, and you will get p square is equal to a square plus b square. That means what you are getting as p is equal to plus or minus, it will be root of, so it can be positive or negative, so it is plus or minus c by, numerator will have c square will become c, and denominator will have that root of sign, root of a square plus b square. So here you got your p, right? Now see, you can just see that a, b, c, everything is contained in the given equation. So you have found out p in terms of a, b, c. Now our purpose is to find out what is cos omega and sin omega. So what will be sin omega? Sin omega is minus b p by c. Replace the value of p which you have got. You will get plus or minus, again negative, and here you have both positive and negative when you will replace the value of p. So it will automatically become plus or minus, and b is there, value of p is c by root of. So again here you have 1c and root of a square plus b square. So that c will get cancelled and you will get sin omega as plus or minus b by root of a square plus b square. Okay. Now cos omega will be minus a p by c. Again replacing, you will get plus or minus a c by c into root of a square plus b square, which is equal to plus or minus a by root of a square plus b square. So you got all the values, that is p, sin omega and cos omega in terms of a, b, c. Therefore, when we have to reduce the given equation ax plus by plus c equal to 0 in the normal form, what we will say? The normal form of ax plus by plus c equal to 0 is x cos omega plus y sin omega is equal to p, where, this is the main thing, that is where all the three values are what? Where cos omega is equal to, what you have got? Plus or minus a by root of a square plus b square. Sin omega is equal to plus or minus b by root of a square plus b square, and p is equal to plus or minus c by root of a square plus b square. And we should choose the, that is proper sign should be used in order to get the p, that is the p should be always positive. So accordingly the sign of cos and sin will give you, but always p should be made positive first, that is the right hand side should be made positive first, and then you have to see whether you are getting negative or positive sign there. Understood? Our next topic is distance of a point from a line. That means you have been provided with a line and one point will be given. You have to find out the distance between that line and the given point. That is, this is the given line. Suppose this is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. That is, the line is ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and the given point is x1 by 1. So let us take it as p. So p of x1 by 1 is given and the equation of the line is given. We have to find out the distance from the, when we say distance, it will be perpendicular distance only. So the distance between the line and the point, that is in the figure you can say that is pm. You have to find out what is pm. We are just taking it as d. So that d is our purpose to find out here. Okay. For that, first we are just joining, that is, this is the point. This point has been drawn, that is from the point P, we have drawn a perpendicular onto the line, and that PM, that is meeting at M on the line, and the points of the line where it touches, that is the line touches the X and Y axis, have been taken as Q and R respectively. Now we will see what are these points. Okay. since the line is touching on the x-axis, we can say that we know that the y-coordinate will be 0. That means for ax plus by plus c equal to 0, in order to find out the point Q, we know that on a line on the x-axis is of the form something comma 0. That means the y-coordinate will be 0. So when we are substituting here y as 0, what you will get, ax plus c is equal to 0. That means x is equal to minus c by a. So that this coordinate of Q becomes minus c by a comma 0. Now in order to find out the coordinate on the y-axis r, again we know that any point on the y-axis will be of the form 0 comma something, right? 0 comma this distance. And now how we are finding out? In the same equation ax plus by plus c equal to 0, if you are replacing x with 0, we will get by plus c equal to 0. That means y is equal to, or by is equal to minus c, y is equal to minus c by b. So that r is 0 comma minus c by b. Okay. Now in order to find out the distance PM, first we are starting with the area of the triangle. You can see that you have an area, that is we are joining PR and PQ, so that and a triangle is formed. So we are finding out the area of that triangle. Okay. So for area of triangle PQR, we have a concept half into base into altitude. That means half into base is QR, altitude is PM. And we have to find out PM. So what will be PM equal to? First we will see. So here you will get 2 times of area of PQR is equal to QR into PM, or PM is equal to 2 times of area of triangle PQR by QR. So this is what we need to get. That means we have to find the value of what is the area of the triangle and what is QR. For that, again we will use the area concept. Because we have all the 3 vertices of the triangle, we can use the formula for the area of the triangle when 3 vertices are given. What is that? Area of the triangle PQR when 3 vertices are given will be half into modulus of x1 into y2 minus y3 plus x2 into y3 minus y1 plus x3 into y1 minus y2. So this is the concept. Again we are using the area. Here we have used half BH and here we are using this formula in order to replace the value here. Okay. So we will just make it as this is x1 y1, let it be there. Then let this be your x2 y2 and this is your x3 y3. Now we are just replacing the values here in order to find out the area. So it will be half into, what is x1? x1 itself. So half into x1 into y2. y2 is 0. 0 minus y3 is minus cb. So it will become 0 plus c by b. Plus again x2. x2 is what? Minus c by a into y3. y3 is minus c by, sorry, this is capital A, minus c by b minus y1. Minus y1 plus, what is x3? x3 is 0. 0 into anything, you are getting that term to be 0. Anyway, we are replacing. y1 is y1 minus y2 is again 0. That means you are getting the area to be half into x1c by bx1. Here you will have minus c by a into, this will give you minus, okay, c square by ab plus, and this will give you plus c by a y1, and here it is 0. These are the 3 terms which you are getting after expansion, right? Now we are taking the LCM with AB as the denominator, so that this will give you half into denominator AB, and this will give you A C x1 plus c square plus b c y1. Now in the numerator you have c in common, that we are taking out, and AB is also taken out. So it is half into modulus of again c by AB into remaining is ax1 plus by1 plus c. Okay, so this is area. Now what will be 2 times of area. Now why we are finding out 2 times of area? Here it is 2 times of area. So you are getting 2 times area of triangle PQR is equal to modulus of C by AB into modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C. Let this be there. Now we will find out what is QR and then replace in PM. Okay. Now what you will get as QR? Again, QR is the distance between Q and R. That means you can use your distance formula, which is root of x2 minus x1 the whole square plus y2 minus y1 the whole square. This is equal to root of what you are taking as x2. You can choose 0. So this is x. Here these two are the points. So you are taking 0 minus c by a. So you will get c by a the whole square plus minus c by b minus 0 the whole square. So minus c by b the whole square. This is equal to root of c square by a square plus c square by b square. So taking LCM, you will get root of, in the denominator you will get a square b square, and numerator will become c square b square plus c square a square. Okay, so here you can take out c square from the root. It will become c, and denominator also inside the root it is, so it will become ab, but you have to take it inside the modulus because it is root of. It can be positive and negative, so we are taking only positive thing because it is distance here. Okay, so here you will get c modulus of c by ab into root of a square plus b square, right? Now we have got QR as well as 2 times of area. We are just replacing in this place. Okay, so what you will get for this? You will get PM is equal to 2 times of what you have got area is modulus of c by AB into modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C divided by what is QR? It is again modulus of c by AB into root of a square plus b square. So you are getting PM, which has been taken as D. That is the distance of the point x1, y1 from the line AX plus BY plus C equal to 0 as D is equal to modulus of AX1 plus BY1 plus C divided by root of a square plus b square. So what we have done, that is the lines terms are these AX1. We are just replacing the line with the point x1, y1. That means instead of x and y, it will be replaced with x1 and y1. That is the point given. And in the denominator, you have root of the coefficient of x square plus coefficient of y square. So this is the distance from the point x1, y1 to the line AX plus BY plus C equal to 0. Next topic is distance between 2 parallel lines. So before this we have studied that what is the distance from a point to a line, and here we are just seeing what will be the distance between 2 parallel lines. And we know that 2 parallel lines have equal slopes. So we can choose 2 parallel lines in the form y is equal to mx plus c1 and y is equal to mx plus c2. That means the slopes are equal for the 2 lines. C1 and C2 is the only difference, that is the y-intercept. C1 and C2 will be the y-intercept. Suppose these are the 2 parallel lines. This and this both are touching it here. The y-intercepts for this line is C1 and the y-intercept for this line is C2. Okay, that is the only difference between the 2 lines. Now our purpose is to find out the point where the first line, that is this line, touches the x-axis. Why we are finding out? Because we will just go back to the other concept that when we know the point, one point, from that point we are taking the perpendicular distance to the second line, and that distance will give you the distance between the 2 parallel lines, because anywhere you can take the distance will be the same for parallel lines. So first of all, we will find out the point where the first line touches the x-axis. Now how to find that? We know that for any point on the x-axis, the second coordinate will be 0. That means the y coordinate is 0. So for the first equation, if the y coordinate is 0, you will get 0 is equal to mx plus c1, or mx is equal to minus c1, or x is equal to minus c1 by m. So this will be your x coordinate for the point touching your x-axis for this line. So it is minus c1 by m, comma 0 will be the point A. Now let this be the point x1, y1 as in the other case, and this is the line, and this line should be made in the form ax plus by plus c equal to 0. So this line can be again rewritten as minus mx plus y minus c2 equal to 0. This is same as this line, but it is in the form something into x, that is ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Because if you have the line to be ax plus by plus c equal to 0 and the point is x1, y1, so the distance of the point x1, y1 to the line ax plus by plus c equal to 0 is given by, what is the distance? Definition is, or the formula is, capital ax1 plus by1 plus c divided by root of a square plus b square. So in this we are just replacing regarding the line. Here the line is minus mx plus y minus c2 equal to 0, and the point is, distance of the point is minus c1 by m comma 0. Okay, to this line, distance of this to the line will be d is equal to modulus of, what is, instead of a here you just compare, you will get minus m into, instead of x we have to replace it with the point. This is your x1, y1, so you will get it to be minus c1 by m, then plus b into, what is b here? B is 1, so 1 into, what is the y1? The term is 0, so you'll get 1 into 0 plus c. So here the c is minus c2, right? Divided by root of, so this is closed, root of, again coefficient of x the whole square. What is the coefficient of x here? Minus m. So you'll get root of minus m the whole square plus coefficient of y the whole square. Coefficient of y is 1 here, so you'll get 1 square. That is, you are getting the distance to be, this m will get cancelled, negative, negative, positive. So modulus of c1, this is 0, minus c2 divided by root of, this will give you m square, this is 1. So you will have root of 1 plus m square. So this is the distance between the two parallel lines. So when you compare with the lines, this is your, the two equations are these two, right? So when you compare, you can see the difference of the constants has been taken in the numerator with modulus sign, because it is distance, you have to take only positive thing, and the denominator is having the actually the coefficients of x and y, and for both the equations you will have the same coefficients of x and y. Here it is m for x and 1 for y. That is what? That is root of a square plus b square will give you root of 1 square plus m square, or root of 1 plus m square. Okay, so this is the distance between the two parallel lines when the two parallel lines are of this form. That is, what is this form? This is slope intercept form. Okay. Now if suppose the two lines are given in the general form, what is the general form? Ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Now if they are given, the parallel lines are given in the general form, we can take the two lines as ax plus by plus c1 equal to 0 and ax plus by plus c2 equal to 0. Again here you can see that the two lines will differ only by a constant, remaining the coefficient of x and y will be same. So these are the two lines taken and you have to find out the distance between them. Means again you will have d is equal to modulus of the difference between their constants, that is c1 minus c2, divided by root of coefficient of x the whole square. What is the coefficient of x? In both the thing you can see it is same. So coefficient of x the whole square is a square plus coefficient of y is b, so it is b square. So this is the distance between the two parallel lines when the lines given are in the general form. Okay.